Birds are the last surviving dinosaur manes, a streamlined lineage that evolved feathers, beaks, and a gameplay loop centered around hard-shelled eggs. They dominate almost every biome on the planet, from polar ice fields to scorching deserts, adapting so well that there's basically no map where birds don't spawn. With over 10,000 species, bird manes display insane diversity in size, shape, color, and survival strategies from high-mobility aerial specialists to ground-based tank units like ostriches. They also play a key role in ecosystem management as pollinators, seed dispersers, and the natural insect control squad, stabilizing biodiversity across the whole server. So, let's jump right into the bird tier list. Hawk, the sky-strike predator. This build comes with rapid dive, allowing it to spam dives continuously, wind maneuver, which reduces drag when changing direction, and precision strike, boosting damage when hitting weak points. Hawk is an absolute nightmare in high-speed aerial combat. It's especially effective on windy or mountainous maps, where its ability to cancel momentum and bait opponents shines the most. However, the build is quite fragile. Missing a single dive or getting hit by a wind debuff can easily spell disaster. With that kind of power and precision, Hawk is without a doubt an S-tier build. Seagull, the coastal nightmare. This is a coastal map specialist build, making excellent use of the scavenger perk and flight endurance buff to efficiently farm resources along the shoreline. The Seagull's biggest strength is its extreme versatility. It can travel long distances while picking up almost anything edible. Its signature skill, aerial looting, allows it to dive toward the water at high speed without losing much stamina, giving it a clear advantage in crowded coastal zones with lots of competing players. However, its main weakness is obvious. Almost zero combat capability, low damage, weak talons, and just enough defense to barely escape mid-tier predators. So I rank the Seagull in B tier. Pigeon, the urban survivor. This build comes with a rare combo, the adaptation buff and food abundance passive. On city maps, the Pigeon is practically unkillable. There's an endless food supply, very few predators, and countless spots to reset stealth. While it's not strong in combat, it makes exceptional use of the human biome, almost like it's map hacking, thanks to its ability to identify safe flight paths between buildings and urban areas. However, the build's weakness becomes clear once it leaves the city zone. Its perception and survival stats drop sharply in rural maps. Like Seagull, I rank this in B tier. Ostrich, the speed tank. This is the only ground-based bird build still trying to stay relevant in the meta. Having completely lost its ability to fly, the Ostrich compensates with a massive ground speed buff, capable of outrunning most mid-tier predators. With sprint burst and kick counter, it can outplay or even knock back certain builds if the player nails the timing. However, it's still a high-risk playstyle. Low defense, a huge hitbox, and almost guaranteed death if cornered in bad terrain. This build only shines on savanna maps, where open fields allow it to fully exploit its mobility. In forests or rough terrain, though, the Ostrich quickly turns into a free kill. For that reason, I'm placing the Ostrich firmly in D tier. Owl, the Silent Reaper. Owl is a true stealth assassin build, specializing in night maps. With the night vision buff, it can see clearly even under extremely low light conditions, while the Silent Glide passive allows near-silent movement, enabling the owl to one-shot small prey before they even detect its presence. The precision grab skill further enhances its accuracy when diving from above, making the owl a literal invisible predator under the cover of darkness. However, its weaknesses are clear. Slow stamina, regeneration, and a sharp drop in performance during the daytime, leaving it vulnerable to air predators with high perception stats. Still, in the hands of a player with solid map awareness and good timing, the owl remains an exceptionally strong control build, dominating the meta during night cycles or within dense forest biomes. In contrast to the Ostrich, the owl firmly sits in A tier. Hummingbird, the Nectar Turbo. Hummingbird is a pure mobility-focused build, capable of hovering mid-air, changing direction instantly, and achieving the highest attack speed in the meta thanks to its ultra-fast wing beats. However, it has an extremely low HP pool and high stamina drain, making it hard to survive in prolonged combat. Its only real advantage lies in precision hover, which allows for perfect positioning while feeding or dodging predators. Despite its impressive evasion, a single hit is usually enough to end the game. I'm ranked this in C tier. Woodpecker, the Timber Drill. It's a burst damage plus terrain utility build, using its hardened beak like a drill weapon to strike through tree bark. It delivers high single target damage, but its effectiveness is limited, almost entirely dependent on forest biome environments. Thanks to the head stability passive and neck musculature buff, this build can spam the rapid peck skill without suffering recoil penalties. However, its low mobility, average stamina regen, and lack of any dedicated dodge ability make it easy prey for faster or stealth-based aerial predators. And C tier is the appropriate rank for Woodpecker. Dodo, the patch notes victim. This is a textbook example of an outdated build that failed to update with the meta. The Dodo once thrived in the ecosystem. Back then, its gameplay loop revolved around foraging and passive survival, requiring virtually no combat skills to stay alive. But after the Predator expansion update, the Dodo was completely outclassed. No debate needed, F tier. Crow, the Raven Mind. Crow is the true adaptive survivor build of the entire bird class. Thanks to its cognitive buff and social intelligence passive, the Crow can read situations, memorize predator behavior patterns, and make highly adaptive decisions, something few other bird builds can do. In combat, it rarely engages head-on. Instead, it uses teamwork synergy to bait predators, coordinate group attacks, or steal loot from ongoing fights. What really makes this build shine is the urban adaptation skill, which allows it to thrive in human biomes. What do you think? For me, Crow ranks A tier. Penguin, the Ice Diver. This build is an ice biome specialist, a unique pick, but one that's heavily environment dependent. Its main strength lies in the aquatic adaptation buff, allowing smooth underwater movement and quick escapes from predators in frozen environments. The slide dash skill and group defense synergy make it surprisingly durable when traveling in flocks, while the cold resistance passive grants near immunity to frost damage. However, all of these advantages completely disappear outside the ice map. Although penguins are pretty cute, I can only rank them at D tier. Eagle, the Air Predator. With abilities like Dive Bomb, tripling dive speed, combined with Talon Crush, which deals massive weight scale damage, the Eagle can one-shot most mid-tier prey with ease. Its strongest feature, Eagle Vision, expands the detection radius to nearly the entire map, allowing precise target lock-ons from kilometers away and enabling perfectly timed engagements. No doubt about it, Eagle sits firmly in S tier. And that wraps up today's bird tier list. I know there are still many other species that fit this build, so this video might be missing some birds you're familiar with. Don't worry, I'll release a next part of this tier list soon. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.